Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2018 career mode. Today we are here for the Belgian Grand Prix, round number 13 of the season. Will it be lucky 13 or unlucky 13? We will find out very soon. But if you guys did miss the last race for the Hungarian Grand Prix, then do check out the episode, guys, by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. However, for this race, once again, you can see on screen, rain. Great, sick. Once again, bloody rain. I mean, we can't seem to get away from this horrible weather in this crim. I really cannot, and I'm getting a little bit bored of the rain. Even though I tend to be pretty quick in it, it's really getting a bit boring now. So we've got a wet qualifying on our hands with a dry race. Now, as you can see, in terms of the upgrades for this race, we do have another triple upgrade. And for this one, we've actually got a bit of an engine upgrade here for a bit more power, as obviously we are going to Spa and Monza next, but also chassis upgrades as well, because we need to upgrade the chassis. Now, one of the upgrades is actually a major one. So if we look at what that means for the R&D tree, we take a massive jump. But Red Bull bring upgrades of their own, Ferrari bring a minor one, Red Bull bring a big raft of upgrades, and Sauber have brought a mammoth upgrade package. And just when you think we're starting to get close to Sauber, they come in and they bring the biggest upgrade they've brought all season long. So really frustrating. We just cannot catch up to Sauber, and they keep on pulling away and pulling away and pulling away. And I'm trying to, get close because of the LECLERC situation, but we just cannot get within range, and Sauber just keep on like a machine bringing these upgrades, and we're doing a good job ourselves. Pretty much every race there's either a triple or even a quadruple upgrade, and Sauber just keep on keeping up with it and developing. So fair play to them, I guess. But we just got to keep on getting on our horse and keep on riding and keep on doing what we've got to do to keep on getting those points. But as you can see, we are now here on Saturday for a wet qualifying. Now, practice was actually in the wet, to be fair. And based off of practice, I'm a little bit concerned because the AR seem to be very quick here in the wet conditions, way faster than I expected them to be. I am running a dry setup. However, I don't normally have this many issues. Now, in qualifying, I'm hoping with the higher engine modes we should be okay, because in practice we was running standard engine modes, obviously, but even still the gap was like 1.5 to 2 seconds. We was really struggling in the wet, so I'm kind of hoping we can put those demons to bed in qualifying and perform. Now, we're going to go for not 3 runs in this session, we're going to go for basically kind of 2 longish runs. When you do wet qualifying, it's not really so much about the one lap, it's more just try every lap to get a good lap in, and then you'll see at the end of the session which one was your best lap, because the conditions are going to be the same all the way through qualifying. So it's all about finding out the space on track, the conditions being perfect, tyre temperatures and all that stuff. Now, as you can see, this is the end of my first lap here to get a bit of a reference time on the board, so to speak. And I got to admit, this was a very scruffy session. I had a couple of screen freezes as well, which kind of ruined a few of my laps. And generally speaking, it was just a bit of a bumpy session. Now, my first lap was a good little reference point. Still, though, over 2 seconds off the pace. Absolutely mental. So far behind. Then, again, we came across towards, I think, our third time lap. And as you can see, we're actually on for an improvement. But I decided to pit in because the tyres didn't feel great, and I wanted to make sure I got enough time to come in and get another run of lots of laps, because forget about the timer, I wanted to get 3 or 4 time laps in. So I came in, I knew where the time was to gain, so it was all about getting a fresh set of tyres on and being able to push. And as you can see, I was up again on my delta here, but we got loose through Podium on my 4th attempt and 3.5 minutes left, so there or thereabouts. So hopefully we can try and get a few more laps in, but again, a bit of a loose moment there through Podium, and also a screen freeze as well. But then again, we went for another run here. This one was looking good, but then Ricardo just got in the way, and you can see we didn't lose that much time, but it was a case of not being able to gain time through the corner. And then you look at the mini-map as well, look at all the traffic we have to get through here through Podium. So I thought to myself, right, okay, I've got 1 minute and 40 seconds left, and I've got all this traffic, so I'm just going to literally back off. Again, a mistake through Podium there, but pretty much I backed off, let all the traffic overtake me. Across time about 15 seconds, 20 seconds to go, and I went for one more lap. And as you can see here, straight away through sector 1, we absolutely bossed it. Really strong first sector, and then now into sector 2, as you can see, they're very lucky to not cut the corner there and get an invalidation, as we now come towards the end of the second sector, and we're looking good here. It's a good improvement. We're inside a second so far as we go on to the final sector, 1.1 up to be exact. But then going to the bus stop, it kind of went a bit wrong for me, because we got a poor line, we running a bit too hot on the brakes, compromised the line, and then through the left here I got a screen freeze. Now, you guys have said before in the comments, if I have one of these I can flash back and it's no problem, so I flash back literally just that final corner and to basically finish the lap. But a messy session, lots of errors, lots of mistakes, and we did set an okay lap time for P7, but even then we were still well over a second off the pace. Like, we was miles away. And Alonso, actually the superstar performer there for me, getting third place in the other McLaren. Fair play. Really good session from him. It's a 1-2 for Sauber. Leclerc again on pole, and he absolutely dominated the session. He literally, the word domination is what he is all about at the minute. And I'm kind of hoping tomorrow in the race, the only way he's going to get stopped is if on lap 1 or 2 someone gets past him, maybe his own teammate or something, and distracts him a little bit while we recover the positions. Because also, I'm a little bit concerned if I've done no dry running this weekend yet, so I'm not sure if this pace is genuine or it's wet weather specific, because if it carries over to the dry, it could be a long race for us. It could be a very long race. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, though, that's not the case, and we can hopefully be competitive. So with that being said, let's just jump into it here for the race for round number 13 for the Belgian Grand Prix, and let's see how things pan out. Let's go.
In the 48 races held at Spa between 1950 and 2015, the race winner has only started from pole position on 16 occasions. Qualifying yesterday may have set the order for today, but expect the unexpected here at the Belgian Grand Prix. As the saying goes, of course, anything can happen. And you know what? It usually does. So here we are once again, ready to go racing through the Ardennes forest. 4.35 miles of long straights, fast corners and massive elevation changes. It makes this not only one of the most exciting circuits on the calendar, but one that makes for some consistently high quality racing as well. Simply put it, there really is no place quite like Spa. With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Martinez. That was a great podium in the last race, so can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, with Marcus Ericsson alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Alonso, Vettel, Kimi Räikkönen and Ricciardo, Martinez, Verstappen, Magnussen and Nico Hülkenberg, Grosjean, Sainz, Sergio Perez and Hamilton, Ocon, Gasly, Valtteri Bottas and Brendan Hartley. Stroll and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Right, here we are then on the grid for the Belgian Grand Prix. A very messy qualifying yesterday, and we didn't really have the pace, to be honest with you. So we started from P7, and we've got our work cut out for us, because we're going to start from the right-hand side, the kind of, I'd say, the slightly dirtier side of the grid, and we're going to start, pretty much behind all our main rivals. The good news is that we have not much to lose in this race. We can basically only go forward. I think Alonso is up the sharp end as well, which is good. But generally speaking, hopefully he can try and take the fight to the Saubers, and we're going to try our best. Now, in terms of the strategy today, the game itself is recommending me a soft to medium, but I might be able to probably go soft to super soft if I go long enough on the first stint and keep my tyres within range. So fuel-wise, you can see we're going to run 24 laps there, 2 more over the expected amount, and pretty much overcast conditions, no rain expected. So let's get into it and let's have a little bit of fun. It's my favourite track on the calendar, so I want to try and do well, and hopefully the car is faster in the dry than it is in the wet. With that being said, let's jump into it. It's time for round number 13 for the Belgian Grand Prix. Let's get into it. Right, here we go. We're going to build up the revs here and get ready for the 5 red lights here at Spa-Francorchamps. Lights are on and they are off. And away we go. A little bit of a wheel spinny start there, dropping a little bit of revs. Down towards turn 1 though, we're going to hold the inside line and hold our position. We're going to go for the squeeze on the exit there on Magnussen to avoid him trying to make it too wide with me down towards Eau Rouge. It's going to take me a moment as well to get used to the dry conditions compared to the wet, as I've not done much dry running. Practice was in the wet as well, so I'm quite unfamiliar with the dry conditions here thus far. So it's all about adaptation so far in this first part. Looks like Alonso had a good start. He's at the P2, and the Sauber's being challenged, as you can see, into the brake zone there. Ericsson and Leclerc going at it. Leclerc though comes out on top once again. Meanwhile, we've got Räikkönen and Ricciardo here going to battle. Ricciardo in the Red Bull. I want to try and have a look around the outside. Can we try and do that on Ricciardo? Not quite. Make an adjustment in the brake bias halfway through the corner as well, changing it from 52 to 54. And so far, so good, as we pick up our first track extension of the Grand Prix. Running a little bit wide there, but that's okay. I should be okay. Track extension shouldn't be a concern around this track. It's just now in this initial phase where we're trying to get used to the car and see how it feels. But pretty much lap 1 is in the books. Everything now seems to have stabilised a bit. Alonso's holding the P3, which is good. It's encouraging signs. And he's on the back of Ericsson. And we've actually held on to our starting position as well in P7. So now let's try and go forward in this race. And let's try and make some moves here. Okay, good run through turn 1. Straight on the back of Ricciardo here. We should get the run through Eau Rouge. I'm going to now go into hot lap mode. I was waiting to get a little bit of a gap to Ricciardo, so basically it doesn't ruin my momentum up the hill. And now we're within range. We're going to try and power past the Red Bull here to the left hand side. We're going to get a little bit of a tow from Kimi in front, and we're going to power past and take 6th place there from Daniel Ricciardo. Good move and job done, as Vettel is now putting an attack on Alonso, my teammate, in front. I'm presuming everybody's on softs in the top 10. That's what I expect to be the case. So with that in mind, obviously we need to make the overtakes on track, so we need to push and be aggressive here. P2 is possible. You know, Ericsson's still there. It's just LeClerc who keeps opening up the gap every time. He's always at the front in the races, and he's already opening up a gap of his own here out front, so that's kind of frustrating. Alonso now seemingly attacking Ericsson here, which is good. That's encouraging stuff. A 44.1 DRS now enabled as well. And we're going to see if we can start up a move here. The problem is everyone has got DRS on everyone pretty much, so it's kind of a free-for-all. Good exit out of turn 1 though. We're going to stay within range of Kimi. Let's try and carry the momentum here into overtake through Eau Rouge before DRS comes enabled. That's going to be a corner cut, second one of the race. So now I'm actually on the limit here. I've kind of put myself in a bit of a sticky situation, but we are gaining on Raikkonen. The straight line speed, 350 k's. Down the inside, get it slowed down. There we go. This McLaren can definitely go on the straights. So there we go. We've got past Kimi. Unfortunately, after 3 laps, we've got 2 warnings already. So this is going to be a long race. Got to be careful now. And hopefully take a little bit easier for Eau Rouge next time around to not lose the back end like that. But anyway, let's chase after Sebastian Vettel, who's next. Leclerc isn't opening up a massive gap just yet. So this is okay for now. I'm kind of hoping Alonso can maybe make a move on Ericsson. That would be pretty damn good for me. Alonso's all over the back of Ericsson here, going into the bus stop chicane, and I think Ericsson locks up a little bit there, but Alonso is really causing him some trouble. He was under pressure early on from Vettel, but he seems to have woken up now. Meanwhile, we're looking comfortable here and have a decent lap, and we're now within range of Sebastian Vettel. Into turn 1, we're going to once again focus on the exit, make sure we stay close to Sebastian as we go up towards Eau Rouge. And that way I can hopefully get the run on him. We're actually quite close here. I'm going to have to go down to medium ERS to just get out of it a little bit. Oof, getting loose again. I don't know why the car's getting so loose through there, but Alonso has not had a good run here, and he's kind of vulnerable. Vettel, I'm going to box him in, and we're going to power past Alonso as well. A 2-for-1. Late on the brakes, down the inside. Vettel's gone for it, but I've closed the door on him there. Yellow flag behind. As we pick up a penalty. First one of the race. Oh well, that's what happens. We'll live with that. That's okay. We can do other stuff, but so far great progress. 3rd place. Up next, Marcus Ericsson. So now I'm pretty much 3 extensions away from another penalty. So pretty much, let's pretend I've got no penalties. It's reset to 0 now because I need to get 3 again to get another penalty. But my back end feels very, very loose in this car. I don't know why it feels so loose. It's working through the corners when I turn in, but some high-speed corners, the back end just wants to get away from me. Either way, let's get ahead back on screwed straight, and let's continue on after Ericsson. Let's try and hunt him down and get that 2nd place. Leclerc's not too far away, so we've recovered the positions very early on here, and we haven't let Leclerc build too much of a gap. So let's try and keep it in our sights if possible. Haven't got DRS on Ericsson just yet. Personal best gap 1.1. I'm trying to shake off Sebastian Vettel, who's also hanging on to me here. But slowly but surely we are catching up to Marcus here. But like I said, tires don't feel that great now all of a sudden. They're just the back getting so loose. But I think I've got enough here to hopefully catch up to Ericsson and get away from Vettel. Ericsson's just pulled away a little bit at the minute, and we've got a gap to Vettel, which is good. Dare I say, I think Ericsson's probably faster than Leclerc at the minute. He's catching up to him because he's actually opening up a gap to me now, and I can't keep up with Marcus, but we are pulling away. So we're kind of solidifying this 3rd place. But it may come down to strategy and the final stint, depending on what other people do tyre-wise and strategy-wise. Okay, Leclerc pits in. Interesting. That could be an aggressive strategy there from the Sauber. This is our scheduled pit stop lap. Lap 10, but I think I'm going to try and go for the super softs, to be honest. I want to go for that tyre and basically roll the dice. I reckon if I get to lap 12, maybe 13 just to be safe. I reckon I should be okay on the super softs because there'll be a fresh set. So we're going to stick with it here. I'm presuming Leclerc's gone for mediums. He's going to feed out in traffic as well. So let's hope Leclerc's gone for mediums. Okay, now Ericsson pits in. He's going to go for the mediums. We're going to stay out of here. I'm going to try and commit to this super soft because if I don't catch Leclerc, I want to at least catch Ericsson. And I can do that on super softs. So now I've managed to save up some battery and we still got plenty of fuel. So now's when we're going to start using it to try and stay at a higher pace. Tyre wear, you can see for yourselves, we're looking okay. So I reckon I can manage this for at least 2 more laps. That's definitely doable. Right, personal best, 43.9. Into the 1 minute 43s, using a little bit more fuel and ERS than I would use, but it does the job.
Fernando's in for his stop.
Leclerc set the pace on mediums, but that's fine. He's a little bit quicker than I thought he would be on those tyres, but that's okay. We can manage that. I want to see if I can come in next lap, lap 13. If I can make lap 13, then I'll be confident we can get to the end on super softs. Lap 12 might be a little bit of a stretch. Another personal best. I reckon I've got one more in, so we're going to pit in at the end of this lap and not come in lap 12. So we've managed to make it work. Good pace. We need one more strong lap here on the in lap if possible, though. Let's keep it up. Personal best middle sector. I was 2 tenths down in sector 1, so we've had a very, very strong middle sector. Good stint, though. All things considered, Leclerc hasn't gained that much. He only set that 1 purple lap and no more, so good stuff. Ericsson isn't normally as fast as Leclerc, so that's worked out okay. But now it's time for our one and only stop of the race on the contra strategy onto the super soft compound tyres here. So now we need a nice quick stop from the boys. So come on, mechanic, let's do this. Very simple pit entry there, no risks taken. Leclerc's going to go past, of course, but the pit exit obviously benefits us in terms of where we are placed. So let's hope for a nice quick stop here. Come on, boys. Nice quick one. There we go, 2.1. Away we go. There goes Ericsson now. We're going to be closer to Ericsson, I think, than what we were before the pit stops, which is good. Just need to heat up these super softs, but there he is. Or about the same, maybe, actually. Ericsson got good acceleration. But now we've got the tyre compound difference here. Just hoping I can attack on these for most of the laps and be able to go to the end. That's my only kind of doubt and question mark over these tyres. But other than that, we've got to at least get P2 in this race. Come on, pressure's on here. Let's get this. Purple sector 2 straight away. Putting these tyres to use and wasting no time. I don't think I'm going to have DRS on Ericsson on the pit straight. It's just a little bit too far away, but hopefully we can have it on the Kemmel straight going up to Eau Rouge. Even then, I think that's going to be a little bit of a stretch. Purple final sector as well. Ultra soft, or should I say super soft, delivering performance straight away here. Ericsson very, very close. Let's try and get onto the back of him this lap. Ooh, Vettel's out. That's a big retirement. Could we get a VSC or something? That would really help me out on these tyres. I'd be in prime position. Looks like we're getting nothing. We haven't had a safety car in ages, I've got to say. Oof, that's a bit loose through there. Take it easy, Tom. Here we are then within range. Purple sectors all round at the minute. We're going to gain a nice slipstream on Marcus Ericsson here. Hopefully I can time this right to the point where I can pass him into the bus stop. But I get DRS going onto the pit straight. That's what I want. Very late on the brakes. A little bit too hot actually, but we are going to get the move done with the lockup. And we're also going to get DRS as well. So let's go into hot lap. Stay in British mix. Fast up at the Grand Prix. Try and pull away from Ericsson if we can. He's going to have DRS on me up through the Kemmel straight, so good traction out of there. And it looks like we've got this move done, I think. We should be okay. Right, we match our fast up at the Grand Prix. Gap to Leclerc now inside 7 seconds, or should I say inside 8 seconds. 7.3 to be exact, but we have got a good pace. Have we got enough, realistically? I mean, we haven't even got enough laps, to be honest, but I'm going to keep trying. Keep plugging away. So far, gap to Leclerc 6.2, gap to Ericsson 3.6. Bear in mind we have the penalty to take into account, so at this point I'm starting to forget about Leclerc and I'm now focusing on securing the second place and getting a 3-second gap to Ericsson. Bear in mind as well that AI tend to speed up for some reason in the last few laps of the Grand Prix, so it's important that we really get this gap out while the tyres are as fresh as possible in these laps, and then Ericsson's going to start just pulling it back a little bit towards the end, so it's important to stay consistent and set those good lap times now.
Some information on Alonso. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
That's a shame. That's a real shame. Alonso's had a good race, I think, and I think he's doing well. That's what we didn't need. I was hoping for LECLERC there, but it's my own teammate. That's a real shame, it really is. Oh, okay, VSC deployed. Is that for Alonso? No, it's not. Kevin Magnussen's out of the race. Well, that does let us just, cool down the tyres and also save a bit of fuel in the RS, so that's going to give us a chance to push once again here once the VSC comes back in and we can get back to racing speed. That also buys Alonso a little bit of time with his car issues. Oh no, I've just seen the yellow flag. It's my own teammate, Fernando Alonso. He's going slow. Car issue or puncture probably, I'm guessing it's that one. Such a shame. Such a good race for my teammate. There he is. Wow. That's annoying because Alonso's been on a good run as late when it comes to point scoring. And it's over, unfortunately, after such a good qualifying yesterday. I think we've lost Ericsson. Yes, Ericsson's out. I thought I couldn't see him on the mini-map. Somewhere he just kind of disappeared all of a sudden. Ericsson's out. Wow. For the Sauber team, that's a big one. That promotes Raikkonen into 3rd place. That's good news for us in the championship because as a constructor, with Alonso in a bad race, it means also Ericsson has a bad one. So Sauber don't outscore us by as much as they could do, really. But now we can relax, pressure's off. 1.5 laps to go. Let's just bring this one home. Wow, another retirement. Hulkenberg's out this time. Literally everyone's dropping like flies in this race. Again, a shame it couldn't have been LECLERC, but just the way it is, unfortunately. Wow, 41.9 on mediums. That's a big yikes from me, dog, because I can't compete with that. Well, my tyres have pretty much had it now. Strategy was perfect though, it worked out. LECLERC is going to win though at the Belgian Grand Prix. He's really found pace at the end. The Saubers always seem to go really fast right towards the end of the Grand Prix, which is something to account for in the previous Grand Prix. But someone needs to stop LECLERC, and I still can't get anywhere near him. So he really is just it's a one-man wrecking machine at the minute in this career mode, and it's him with the Sauber just dominating races. We're going to come through though for P2, another 2nd place, another podium, and once again just behind LECLERC, unfortunately, but still a good race. And a good recovery after a poor qualifying, all things considered, and good points to bring home. But now we go to Monza.
Brilliant stuff from Sauber today. What a superb victory. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
Looks like they're on their way out to the podium now, and what a result this is, and what a popular one with the crowd as well. Great stuff to see the Sauber team on top here today.
Right, so looking at the final race results, Charles Leclerc wins the Belgian Grand Prix ahead of us. We come home P2, Raikkonen in third, running off the podium. As you can see, again, for the second or third race running now, it's me and Leclerc pretty much in a world of our own, especially Leclerc. He's in a different time zone compared to everybody else. I mean, look at the fastest laps from Leclerc there compared to like Ocon and Perez there in the midfield. Absolutely insane. Ricciardo P4 misses out on the podium. Grosjean P5, Sainz 6th. And then Ocon and Perez scoring double points for Force India, and also both Mercedes scoring double points as well. Bottas beating Hamilton. Then Gasly, Verstappen, Hartley and Stroll miss out on points, along with Alonso, my teammate, who obviously had the puncture, Sorokin as well. And then 4 DNFs in the form of Hulkenberg, Ericsson, Magnussen and Sebastian Vettel. Now, in terms of what the race means for the Drivers' Championship, you can see now the gap to Raikkonen extends a little bit, not by much, but still with 15 points now to Raikkonen. But the gap to Leclerc goes all the way up to 72 points, and man, it's going to be a real challenge to claw those points back, because that Sauber is showing no signs of slowing down. If that package that arrived for this race is what they've got up in store, then they're going to be so hard to beat. Alonso, meanwhile, loses P11 to Grosjean there in the Drivers' Championship, and Ricciardo overtakes Ericsson as well. But in terms of the Constructors, we remain in P4, only 6 points behind Red Bull now, and we are really breathing down their neck. So hopefully, a little bit more luck next time around. Alonso actually scores some points if he's a bit more lucky, and we definitely would have had a Red Bull this race in terms of overtaking them for the Constructors. So all in all, a decent race here today, the best we could have done. But now we're going to get into that laptop and put on some more upgrades for the next race in Monza, hopefully.
You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you? You must be happy with the result today. You're beating all expectations. Would you say we all underestimated you? Appreciate your time.
Okay, so here we are on the R&D screen. Now, I've assessed all my options, upgrade-wise, and it's a little bit tricky. The only place we could go is aerodynamics, and we've got a few minor ones here scattered about which we could do. But I think those are going to be the ones we're going to focus on going into the final part of the season, because they're going to be very quick upgrades that we can get a very rapid turnaround on and get them on the car straight away. The cheapest ones are here, which is the front downforce for 520 points, and then a rear downforce one for 496. Unfortunately, we're just about 30 points short, 40 points short of being able to get that one and that one for the next race. If I could afford it, I would get both, and that's what I would do for Monza, to have a double upgrade for that race. But because we can't afford it, I'm going to go more long-term thinking. So we're going to upgrade the engine, and by engine I mean the ERS system, to try and make that a little bit more efficient and a bit more, just generally improved a lot more. So we're going to get a major engine upgrade on the car, which should arrive for Singapore. It's a 2-week upgrade, so that should push us above Ferrari. And then after that, I'm going to go all the way down here and get another engine power one for the fuel technology, and pretty much that should help us out in terms of engine performance. And then for the rest of the season, it's all about focusing on the aero. We're going to really push the aero here and become the best team, hopefully. And then maybe 1 or 2 chassis ones, like for example up here with the tyre wear. But pretty much it's going to be full focus on aero and engine for the rest of the season. And yeah, no upgrades for Monza. I might put in a semi-fresh power unit. I'll see what I'll do. I'll have to think about that one. But for now, that is going to be it, guys, for this episode of Career Mode. If you did enjoy it, then please do drop a like on the video. Also, get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content, and turn on notifications to not miss a single video from me. Finally, check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. And also, guys, if you are new, like I said, please subscribe, turn on notifications. But yeah, hopefully enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.